Hey guys, David, the Anti-Cynic. Gonna review Batman number 50, finally. I realize I'm a couple weeks late in this, but, whatever. So before I start, I just want to make it clear that I mean no offense to Tom King or anyone who likes his Batman run. It's not my thing, but if it's yours, more power to you. So let me just get into it then. So as I said, I don't really like Tom King's Batman run. I haven't liked it since the first arc, which I thought was okay and showed promise, but just was downhill from there. Everything since then, I think, has been mediocre at best, and a lot of it's just plain terrible. I had this kind of epiphany. I think that Tom King is like the Stephen Moffat of comics. So Stephen Moffat, right? He wrote some of the best episodes of Doctor Who during the Davies era. He wrote the one with the Weeping Angels. He wrote The Doctor Dances. That's, one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes ever. He was really good at doing these shorter stories. And then he took over the show, and, man, like River Song was great, and, Silence in the Library. He kept bringing her back, and it just got tiresome. But the Weeping Angels were great. You use them again and again and again, it gets boring and redundant. And it's the same with Tom King. Like, the whole idea throughout this run, leading up to the winning issue, has been like, what if Batman had a chance at happiness? Okay? That's a good story for maybe a 5-issue arc, right? Like, Batman falls in love and tries to get married, and then, it doesn't work out. Because he can't be happy and be Batman, right? That's the whole idea. You can't stretch that out over 50 issues. Like, every issue, it's like, I know where this is going. Why aren't we there yet? It's just more of like, oh, we're getting ready for the wedding. Just like silly things, like drama with Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul. Like they need their approval, and Damian has to, get close to Catwoman. And we know this isn't going to last. If he gets married at all, they're going to break up relatively quickly. Why are we spending so much time on this? So I knew going into this, where it was likely going to go. And then the whole thing came out, about the New York Times spoiling the issue. I didn't read the spoilers, but I suspected what was going to happen. So, spoiler alert, they don't get married. There is no wedding. They decide that they're going to have the wedding at the beginning of the issue. Batman hires, or Bruce Wayne, I guess, finds Justice of the Peace and gets him drunk, so he won't remember what happened. Because obviously if Bruce Wayne was married, that would raise questions. Which, of course, makes no sense. Oh yeah, he's just so drunk that he's just not going to remember it. But then, why is it even binding then? And it's just... Okay. So, they spend most of the issue having him and Catwoman fight some bad guys. There's very little actual story, despite the fact that this is an extra-sized anniversary issue. And I don't even know, what is this an anniversary of? Just because it's number 50? Batman's not celebrating any major anniversaries, guys. Anyway. So there's that. And then the other thing dispersed throughout the issue is these, one-page spreads, portfolio-type pieces by various artists. This one's by Garcia and Lopez. And then here we have one by Becky Cloonan. So a lot of these are really nice. It's nicer than the art in the actual book, in fact. Frank Miller even did one. And here's a 90s style page that was done by Jason Fabok. It's really nice. I like 90s Batman, despite it being uneven. So yeah, we have that, and then on those pages you have this these letters between Batman and Catwoman, sorry. Where, they're love letters, basically. We met on a boat. You called yourself the cat. You were stealing the jewelry, dressed as an old woman. So, they talk about how they met, and then there's, a whole page talking about, eyes, and it's really, really tiresome. So at one point, Catwoman decides to break Holly Robinson out of jail. So Holly Robinson is, of course, the other prostitute that she lived with during year one. I don't know how that works continuity-wise now, because I don't think that Catwoman was ever a prostitute in the current continuity. But whatever. So they kind of meet. She takes her to Wayne Manor. They talk about stuff. And then at one point, Holly insinuates that she always thought that if Batman found happiness, he would stop being Batman. And this makes Catwoman, think about what she's doing. And then she decides, oh wait, I can't marry him. I'm a hero now, and if I'm a hero, marrying him would be selfish because it would take Batman away from the world, because he's not going to be able to remain Batman if he's married, and if he finds happiness. So it's like, yeah, like, I knew that's where this was going. Why did it take so long to get there? So, she doesn't show up at the wedding, and then, Bruce Wayne gets upset or whatever. It's just like, the whole issue is just such a waste of time. And that's how I feel about this whole run. So as I said, when I first read it, I wasn't that upset, just because I knew this was coming. And I was hoping maybe finally, now that this is over with, we can move on and get to something maybe more interesting. But then I read this article where Tom King talks about his Batman run, and he says, like, this is the foundation of the whole run. Now that, the win didn't work out, he's going to deal with Batman, like, the fallout of Batman coming close to happiness and then having it taken away from him. Which, like, okay, we're going to carry this out even farther now. It's been 50 issues, we're going to carry it out another 50 issues to the end of his run, apparently. So that's just great. So I have really no investment in this run at this point. I'm going to keep buying it just because I've always thought Batman. But yeah, this is just really tiresome. Not super happy about it. And now, of course, Tom King's doing this whole Heroes in Crisis thing. Like, yeah, superheroes on the couch. Like, why is that a good idea? That's not why we read superhero fiction, guys. At least it's not why I do. So yeah, this was pretty awful. Like I said, there's some nice art. The art in the main book by Michael Janin is not great. But there's some nice portfolio pieces. It ain't worth $5. So yeah, don't buy this.